ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PSVG podcast, the official podcast of PlaySomeVideoGames.com. My name is Donnie Reese. I'm the host tonight. This is the only gaming podcast that can't come up with a witty intro when Kevin Austin's not around. I did it, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, you did it. Good job. That was like a Fluxtapose entrance.
There you go. The voices that you're hearing are Josh. Say hello.
That's me. Hello.
And Q, also known as the Lobo Rican. As they've joined me tonight for what I'm hoping is a special episode. I've been wanting to do this for a while, actually. I've been trying to work with Kevin on scheduling. It's kind of hard sometimes when you have an entire staff that are all doing their own shows and their own lives and their own jobs to get the people that you want to talk with together. I've brought this crew together tonight because I wanted to talk Xbox. I want to talk about Xbox. So we're not going to do the what we're playing. We're not having any news stories for you tonight. This is literally an hour of dedicated Xbox chat. I've got a bunch of notes. I've got a bunch of things. There are tons of rumors and things that we can speculate on that I want to get down on some podcast audio. And we don't have time for the other stuff. So we're just going to jump in. I've got my first question that I'd like to ask you guys, but before I let you answer, I am going to cover a few basics. But my first question is really quite simple. What are you excited for on Xbox in 2018? Because... And look, we're not going to turn this show into one of those shows, but 2017...
What are you excited about?
...wasn't necessarily maybe their best year ever. Although they sold well, there were some great games. But before you answer, let's just kind of go over. I went and kind of rewatched some E3 stuff. I just want to kind of remind you what is on the docket for Xbox in 18. So we've got PUBG, which is kind of out release, but not really, and still work in progress. Actually, you know, guys, funny story. My son loves that game.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
We need to have a talk.
He loves that game. So we've got PUBG. We've got Sea of Thieves on the horizon. We may or may not have played that game. We're not really allowed to say.
Who knows?
Crackdown 3 and State of Decay 2 have been on the docket for what feels like forever, but they are confirmed, expected to release this year. Ori and the Will of the Wisp coming this year. Then we've got a Deep Rock Galactic. That's a timed console exclusive for Xbox. It was shown at E3. If you don't remember, it was kind of like No Man's Sky with guns and friends.
Yeah.
There you go. Ashen, which had that inside-y RPG-like battle thing. The Last Night, which is this cyberpunk pixely platformer, which I was really into. And then what I'm going to go ahead and coin as Donnie's Xbox game of 2018, The Artful Escape, formerly known as The Artful Escape of Francis Vendetti. If you don't remember at E3, that was that guitar platforming psychedelic rock, just ridiculous thing where he was flying on rainbows and jumping off of buildings. I'm all about that game. Every time I see that game, I get super excited. But well, let's get the other folks in here. Q, what excites you about Xbox in 2018?
Good question. I wish we had some show notes instead of going OT style. I'm excited for. I'm somewhat excited for Sea of Thieves and what it has the capacity to be. I feel like 2017 was a rough year, not just for Xbox, but just in general for media. I feel there was a lot of hype for a lot of different things. And a lot of those things came through and a lot of those things didn't come through. So I feel like at this point, I try not to get too excited about much and just let it come and go. Like I canceled my pre-order for Dragon Ball Fighters C or Dragon Ball Fighters just because I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to let it show up. I'm going to, have it, perform. And if it's good, then I'll pick it up. So I'm excited for Sea of Thieves. I think it can be a community builder. It can be a game that builds a big community, a loyal community around it. And I'm really excited for, I hate saying this, but I'm excited for E3. I think it feels like finally Xbox has all of its...
Whoa, hold.
No, yeah, I'm not going to predict anything. I'm just saying, like, it feels like the last few years since Phil Spencer came into leadership, it's almost like you're trying to recruit players to play for you, right? And it's like for a couple years, you have a couple guys, but you still need a couple more guys on defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting your quarterback, but you're still missing, that killer defensive end or something. And it's like feels like finally Xbox has a full team, and now they can do what they want and win the games that they want to win and win the championships they want to win because they finally have a full team ready.
Okay.
And it finally going into this year, it finally feels like they have a full team. So I'm excited for announcements to come for the most part.
Okay.
And for that, the new Duke controller that got announced.
Yes.
I really want. I'm gonna pick that one up. Even if I never use it, I feel like I have to own it. I have to own one at least.
Josh, what excites you about Xbox in 2018?
Well, let's not let it slide that today Mutant Football League officially dropped, but that's on all consoles, not just the Xbox. But I've been part of the Kickstarter for the past few months, and I'm just excited that is a thing that can be done. So what excites me about Xbox directly relates to that, and that is the game preview program. And I can't give you specific titles.
We happy few. Xbox preview 3 years and counting.
Yeah, just got pushed back again. I mean, it's no Kingdom Hearts 3, so I mean, it's still got a couple of years on that.
That's very true.
No, I mean, I'm just excited about that as an aspect, even ID at Xbox. Unfortunately, as an Xbox guy, I can't sit here like I can with PlayStation and kind of tell you game names that I know that are coming out this year that I'm excited about. But I'm excited about the prospect of ID at Xbox and game preview. And I don't want to be just like saying like I'm excited about E3 because I feel like, to be totally honest, I was a little let down from E3 2017, specifically for Xbox. So that being said, I'm excited to not be let down.
You're excited to have the hopeful optimism return.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. We're due.
Right.
They wouldn't be a console. They wouldn't be a competing console if they weren't competitive, if they didn't have plans. And yeah, my computer's going to restart at 11:43. So I'll jump right back in.
No.
Just got another warning that's just about that. So yeah, if we don't have a good year this year for games or even announcements, maybe it's time to worry a little bit. But as long as I got game preview, I can play Conan right now. You can't play Conan on PS4. Do I play Conan? No, but I could.
You can.
So I mean, there's options, and I think that's what makes Xbox unique. Is it hits a very it hits these like specific genres for people at random points in its lifespan. So Xbox might not be for me right now, but I'll tell you what. Like Kyle now has an Xbox. I haven't played. I played more Xbox in the past month than I played in 4 months at the end of last year.
That's kind of why I wanted to have this chat tonight. I have been tethered to my Xbox One X for the better part of 6 weeks now.
Yeah.
I'm just playing everything there. I've been playing Assassin's Creed there. I've been playing Resident Evil 7 there. I've been playing PUBG there. Even though it's not my favorite game in the world, I still kind of play it. It's like I said, my son loves it. He's just enamored with it. I think one of the kids at school or something plays it. Like he asked me about it one day, and I was like, sure. He loves it. He loves running around. He tries to hit people with a frying pan. He doesn't care that pop in and textures don't. He doesn't give a crap about any of that. But I've been playing it constantly. I started playing Titanfall 2 from EA Access. I never played that game. That game is awesome.
That is a good
I
game.
love that campaign. It makes me so sad about Respawn. I'm part of the reason why they're not around.
That IP was left to be butchered, man.
Oh, it's so good. But I've been playing my Xbox so much, and I'm excited to come back, and I'm excited about some of the things they have on the docket. I'm more excited about some of the rumors that are out there, and I've been following them for a couple weeks now. I've had a tab in my computer I've been dropping news stories into it because I kept thinking to myself, we're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned Xbox show. 2017 probably wasn't the best year for the Empire, but 2018, the Empire Strikes Back. And I'm hoping that this year is the year. So let's get into some of it. Right?
Let's do it.
Let's break it down. I did want to mention that some of like the core Microsoft studios, they have a ton of second parties. So we're not going to cover all those, but the core Microsoft studios, we've got Rare. We know they're doing Sea of Thieves. Probably don't have another game. We got Playground. They're doing Forza Horizon 4 or whatever they call it. We'll come back to that. Turn 10. They just did Motorsport, which apparently is really good. I don't know. I haven't got to it yet, but it's on my GameFly list. Mojang, which is doing the Minecraft. They've got a 4K update. You got to imagine they're just going to keep doing more and more and more Minecraft. The Coalition, which are Gears folks. It's been a while, right, since Gears. It's been a little bit.
It's last 20
End of 16, I think.
2016.
So they're probably primed to show us something new. And then 343 Studios, which has been hard at work.
Who's they? Who are those guys?
The 343?
Yeah.
The Halo folks.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, right.
Disappointed.
Is that a biblical game? Halo? Is that like a Moses rescuing animals thing?
Yeah.
They've got some stuff to show.
That's the guy with the Mr. Chief.
Yeah,
right?
I like that. So that's kind of what we know from them at the moment. They've got a ton of second-party stuff. And Playground, for example, has a second studio that spawned off. We're going to come to that back in a minute. So basically, all of these rumors stem from this person named Clobril on Reset Era. He posted all of this stuff. Apparently, he leaked the 2016 E3 conference for Xbox ahead of time, and it was all right. So people are taking these rumors with some fact, at least enough to report on them, and some have even already been proven by other folks. People started fact-checking, and some of them already come true. So let's get into them. First, Crackdown 3, June 29th, State of Decay, May 25th. Crackdown 3 coming out after State of Decay, neither of which coming out until May at the earliest. We got Sea of Thieves, right? Next month, right? Or is it March? Early March?
March.
There you go. So it's not that far out, but, you know, it seems a little light over there. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about these two games? I can't wait to play State of Decay 2. That's must have, must get, day one. That game is going to be awesome. Crackdown 3, I want to believe in. I want to have the optimist approach. I see the commercials. I'm like, it could be fun, but it's just delay. And I'm just like, oh, that usually is not good. I mean, Josh, what do you think about these two games?
So I jumped into State of Decay on Game Pass because I never played it. You know, it maybe State of Decay 2 will be different, but it really hit me right away as a survival simulator, which is not my style, which is fine for me. But I've tried a bunch of them, just not for me. However, it's a game that I would play with people. All these games I'm playing at the end of their life, when they're free, so to speak. So if it's a game that enough people are interested in, you know, I'm in that mob mentality where I'll try anything if people are playing it, because at least I'll get a life out of it, even if it's short lifespan. At least, you know, it's not going to be a $60 game, right? You think it is?
Oh yeah, it totally is.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
So maybe that's a trade in games to get it. Game. As far as Crackdown, I love the first two Crackdowns. I'm okay with this. Isn't Crackdown that's been delayed 3-4 years. This is just Crackdown that people were really excited for and got delayed 8 months. That's fine with me. I can wait. It wasn't like I said, how Xbox kind of has these games geared towards certain types of gamers at certain points. This just is a game I'm excited to play at any point. So I can wait. Crackdown 1 was like, I don't even remember where I got it. I think it might have come with like a demo for a game I wanted to play, or like beta access. And then I ended up loving it. Crackdown 2 was awesome because they threw in the bigger multiplayer aspect of the game, where you could literally just jump in and everyone's in the city and chaos is happening. But it took the part of Grand Theft Auto that I like, and then it got rid of the part I don't like. And that was the open worldedness of it. So it kind of reminds me of like the Division, where you can kind of see where you need to go next, and it's more arcadey and more fun, at least for me. So I can't wait for Crackdown 3. And the best part I think about it is I could just be playing Crackdown 3 and Donnie could jump on, or Q could jump on, or Kyle could jump on, and they can just jump into my game. I don't have to start a new lobby. I don't have to, it's just what it is. Like, I'm excited for what it could be, because we don't really know. They haven't really shown too much.
We haven't had a whole lot of hands-on impressions and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you throw Terry Crews in a trailer that doesn't sell me as much as I love Terry Crews, as much as I love the Crackdown series. That was kind of like a waste of a trailer for me.
Okay. Q?
I think State of Decay 2 is going to be, I mean, I don't know if it hit. I think part of me has a Sunset Overdrive phobia. It's the idea that Xbox can invest a lot of money and a lot of energy into an IP, and then the product will actually be good. Like Sunset Overdrive was a 9 out of 10, if not. I mean, I think Ryan McCaffrey
was amazing.
Gave it a 10 out of 10, and it just didn't sell. So I mean, is our hype based on the game itself, or is it based on how well it sells? And I think that's something to discuss. Yeah, I don't know. I think State of Decay 2 is going to be a good game. I don't see why that wouldn't be a good game. It's going to be a good co-op game, a good co-op experience with people, which is, I think, is what makes Xbox the Xbox community, at least in nature, different from maybe Nintendo and Sony. Now, I'm not saying like the idea that I think as an Xbox gamer, it is part of my DNA to look for games that I can play cooperatively over people. Where I can have a party chat of 6, 7 guys, and half of us are in the same game, just messing around or just, blowing stuff up. Crackdown 3, I think that the thing that's working most against it is graphics, right? And I think when you go everywhere, obviously, if you know what you're getting into, great, you're getting a game that looks somewhat cartoony. But I think its biggest weakness is the fact that it was hyped as this, I don't know, this, at one point it was lined up with the Xbox One X, right? So you have this super powerful console lined up with the
cloud computing and all that. And
they have all the all this crazy environmental destruction stuff, and you're pairing up all these incredible high tech terms with a game that looks like a cartoon. And I think, I'm not saying that's not okay. I'm just saying that, like, for the average gamer that's gonna walk into a store and look at this game and be like, do I want to pick this up? Like, sometimes that's the difference between saying yes and no. I think we're gonna get a decent game. Is it gonna sell well? Man, I don't know anymore. It's really hard to predict whether a game's gonna sell or not.
And that co-op multiplayer experience space is becoming harder and harder and harder to gain traction in, because there is a lot of competition in that market.
I would love to, and maybe these stats are available. I would love to find out how many copies Fortnite sold prior to the Battle Royale release. Mm-hmm. Because honestly, I didn't buy my Fortnite copy until after Battle Royale. So it's almost like this co-op experience wasn't that, there wasn't anything that really sold me on it until I started playing Battle Royale, and suddenly I was like, heck, you know what? I'll spend $30 on the full game. Why not? And it's a great game. The co-op experience is amazing. It's so much fun building your base with people and running around and doing stupid things. But like, the appeal was not there until I actually played it. And so I'm passively excited.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's worth mentioning before we move on. It really does feel like Crackdown's kind of distanced itself from that early stuff. You're not really hearing, they're not saying cloud anything, they're not doing anything, they're just like, they're kind of, we've got Terry Crews and it's goofy and we're blowing stuff up, get over here. It's kind of, they've really kind of turned the page on that.
You know who they're going to bring into Crackdown 3? And this is why they've been delayed so much. They're going to bring Agent Locke from Halo 5.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. He's going to show up and
yeah, because everybody loves him.
Everybody loves him.
All right, next rumor. This came out a few weeks ago. I thought it was cool, especially when Mo kind of reminded me of something in the past. Xbox Careers. Yeah. It could be a patch in the new OS. It could be something we hear about at E3, but this is definitely coming. Basically, Microsoft is going to have OS-based loot crates that you'll either be able to buy. I'm not sure if it's going to retake the place of the Avatar marketplace. From what I read, it sounds like it. So you'd either be able to buy these or you'd be able to earn them. You earn them with playtime, earn them by playing with your friends, earn them by getting achievements, which has got Mo ears perked up. And he reminded me that you used to get stuff for beating games. Like he was like, yeah, I got my Fable stuff. And I thought to myself, I too have my Fable Avatar stuff. I forgot all about that. So it's basically the same thing. It's not that crazy. I know the word loot box might carry negative connotations. I think in this case it really doesn't. If somebody wants to buy, you know, a t-shirt, like let them have at it. It kind of seems like a fun arcadey thing to do to the system. What do you think, Hugh? Xbox careers.
I'm all about building. I mean, even before the Xbox One app hit the mobile phones, I always thought like there was an opportunity to make the Xbox or the online gaming community more social network driven. And obviously, there's websites like Exoface, and you know, even Twitch is involving some social networking aspects to their, you know, your account. You know, you can send people messages, add friends. I always felt like, man, like I could just turn I have like 200 friends on Xbox, I think. I mean, that could be like a social network thing.
Ooh, somebody's popular.
And, what's that?
He said, "Ooh, somebody's popular."
Wait, when you at some point ran a 100-person Destiny clan, well, not for Destiny 2, but for Destiny 1, you pick up friends. I like the idea. I want to be excited about my street cred on Xbox, and I feel like that was something like the little avatars went away with the Xbox One for a while. Because you had your gamer pick, which is really stupid. It's just boring. But in the Xbox 360, you had your moving avatar. And I got the Force Unleashed armor and double lightsabers. And every time you went over to my account, it would throw the double lightsabers at you and catch them. And I was like, that's super cool. And I just want to see more of that interactive. I want to be proud whenever I complete achievements, whenever I get stuff done on the Xbox. I think I'm all for rewarding the gamer publicly or visually in front of his network, because based on what you do.
Sure.
That's why every time I get a new Halo, I strive to get that legendary solo completion, because it's a monster achievement, and it shows that you went for it. So I like the careers element. I like the fact that it's called careers. It makes it sound legit. You know, it makes it sound like something that I would find on LinkedIn.
I like the history. Yeah. Because you do these profiles like us. I mean, I've had an Xbox Live account, I think, since 2009, which is not the earliest, but I mean, it's been a long time now.
Yeah, and I
almost
think
a decade.
And that's something that they're really working on. Like near the end of the year, Xbox sent me an email. It's like, this is what you did this year. You know, you spend these many hours. You know, you played this many shooters, these many RPG games. And it's almost like they're on this train of making you feel proud of your gaming achievements. You know. Which goes on that train of thought of like gaming is something that for Xbox, it's not something that you just do by yourself. You do with other people, and other people should be able to also see your accomplishments in gaming. So,
Josh, Xbox careers.
No!
I knew it was going to happen.
No!
I knew it was going to happen, and it totally ruined our stream. So we'll keep going the way we are. It's all jacked up and messed up. We apologize. Sorry. Dev's going to make fun of us, and hopefully Josh gets back to us. Okay.
So much pressure. Oh no. I gotta double up on my content.
There you go. All right. So the rumors and speculation from Cloveril is what we're gonna get into now. The release dates was from Amazon Spain and Xbox careers everywhere. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned those two together before. But now I want to get into some actual hard rumors. And starting with Playground and Forza Horizon 4 being set in Japan. Q. Well, first, do you even like Forza, man? I don't even know.
I'm not a race car person.
Okay.
Man. The most I enjoy race cars are Mario Kart.
I got you.
I bought Rocket League for like $15, $20, early when it came to the Xbox market. I played it like 20 minutes.
I got you. Okay, so let me jump back in.
Yeah, go for it.
I am not the Forza guy that Nathan and Mo are. I do love Forza Horizon 3. That's the game that brought me back to Xbox. All the buzz, all the hype, everything, I was like, this game is just a racing game. It can't be that good. It is that good. Forza Horizon 3 is the best game on Xbox probably right now. Like, it is an amazing racing game. I love all the explorative world and all the stuff that you can do outside of beating a race. Like you can jump through all these signs that are expertly hidden everywhere. You have like drift challenges or speed challenges, all the cars you can unlock. There's like, it's more like a racing world versus a racing game. And, you know, it's like less Gran Turismo. It's more like open world adventure game with cars. So in that regard, I love Forza. That's why I haven't jumped on Motorsport, because I just don't think any of that. Motorsport is like the car series. You know, that's the drag, the Indy. Like, I don't want any of that. That's just a racing game. Horizon is the Donnie series. I'm all about that. So I'm all about Forza Horizon anything. The moment I hear Horizon, I'm interested after having played Forza Horizon 3. The rumor that this being set in Japan has me super excited. I love
That'd be cool.
Like
That'd
Australia,
be cool.
the game is beautiful, and it just got a 4K update. I've already played it in 4K. It's beautiful. It was always beautiful. But Australia's kind of bland at times.
It's kind of empty.
It's kind of empty, right? Throw me some Japan. Like, let me hit Akihabara in in an awesome, like, sweet ride. Or let me drive down, like, a Japan skyline, like, at night. You know, like, I'm getting all, like, this midnight club, like, stuff, you know, like, lots of neon lights and stuff like that would be great. More drift challenges, all that stuff to tie in. Like, there's all that car culture stuff, that Fast and Furious stuff that I don't know anything about. I can imagine all of that really makes that game a lot better. Or at least gives it the potential to be better than Forza Horizon 3. And if anything has the potential to be better than Forza Horizon 3, count me interested. I'm completely sold. I think it's awesome.
For me, it's about how you market it. Like, one of the biggest turnoffs for the E3 2017 was I feel like Forza Motorsport was crammed down my throat. Yeah, it's like, Xbox One X, Forza, and I'm like, look, man, if you, I think there's a lot of gamers that are just not car people, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just I'm measuring the wrong heartbeat or something. I don't know, but I just feel like I was like, dude, I don't care. Like, I'm glad it looks beautiful, but I just don't care. And yeah, for me, if you market this as, you know, like, explore Japan, kind of thing, and you market it more like hey, you're a car, but it's like an RPG open world element to it, which is what I think Forza Horizon 3 did.
Yep.
For me, I think that's a much better appeal than, hey, drive all these cool cars. I'm like, okay.
It's got a great soundtrack too. You ever just like racing and like listening to tunes? Does
3 let you put in your own music into the game?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah, they did that. The Xbox Music thing is built in, and I think you can run it like on your own stuff too. Like, I tried messing around with that. I didn't do it much because the soundtrack that was built in was great. But
so I got Forza Horizon 3 for free because during E3 on Mixer they were giving away free stuff.
Yes.
For watching.
They gave you Forza?
They gave me a code for Forza. I think that was one of the that was one of the upper tier awards. Yeah. Most people got like
I think I got Gears HD.
Okay, I got Rare Replay the entire game too for free. So
nice.
I got So, I mean, it was a good E3.
You should play it. You should play Forza Horizon 3.
I'll install it.
Probably my favorite Xbox One game. And it's like, it's close. That and like Sunset Overdrive. Like, if my immediate things that come to mind are like Sunset Overdrive but Forza's amazing. All right, I think this one is going to be more in your wheelhouse.
Okay.
I'm trying to stall. I'm trying to get Josh back. There's a rumor out there. It's got some good weight to it that the return of Joe Dark is upon us. Q. Perfect Dark might be making a comeback. So Klobrille put that in his post, but also there's rumors that the Coalition is working on this. So people are instantly jumping to like, is Perfect Dark going to go third person? Is that something like, is that good? Is that something we want? Or is this Coalition totally capable of doing first person, which I totally think they are. I was like, why is anybody thinking that? Why do you think just because Coalition's involved, it's got to be third person? They could totally do a first person game. But the rumor goes that there is a studio working with another studio called Story Labs. And Story Labs even posted they're working on like a new IP. So there are a lot of people are thinking like, well, it can't be a new IP because Perfect Dark isn't new. I gotta remind you, Perfect Dark hadn't come out since like 2005. I could totally see a studio putting on their website Perfect Dark, you know, like a new IP, because it's been only 10, 15 years since we've had a Perfect Dark. So the idea that you have the Story Lab and the Coalition, and they worked together in the past. They worked together on Gears HD. Apparently, the Story Lab productions, they do like a lot of motion capture, a lot of video editing. They do like the blur magic and all that stuff. So it's kind of more like, it's more like just a visual studio, and then the Coalition actually maybe making the game. What do you think? Rare's IP, totally in the Microsoft. It seems like Microsoft's doing this, right? They're trying to hit that nostalgia bone.
I'm excited for this. It all comes down to what kind of game you're gonna make, and obviously that's the biggest question, right? Everyone's asking, what kind of game is this gonna be? Because as much as shooter games sell, right? Like shooter games,
yes,
they sell. I mean, you can.
Perfect Dark would sell more than any, new IP shooter probably would.
It's a proven IP. It has nostalgia power. It can move a few consoles. I don't know how many consoles, but it can move consoles.
Phil Spencer walks out on stage, got a Perfect Dark shirt on. Everybody gets excited. Yeah. I can see it.
For me, is what kind of game is this? Because is it a first-person shooter? It's not that they can't do it. It's just more like, are you adding a game that's going to have a 6-month lifespan and then it's going to, be forgotten for a while until a war season comes up. And it's like, oh, right, Perfect, that came out. Great. Yeah, let's talk about it.
I got you.
6 months later. Because obviously Halo is their big first-person series. Gears of War is... Gears of War is... I think Josh is coming back.
He's trying. Connecting.
I think Gears of War is its third person.
Is he frozen? He's frozen.
No, I hear him.
Again.
There he is.
He's
the return of Josh.
I don't see him. Maybe he's not back yet.
I do. I see him.
You see him? Great.
Yeah.
We're talking about Perfect Dark, Josh.
Oh, Perfect Dark.
Yeah. And so just kind of Halo is first person. Here's his third person. I'm not against another first-person shooter, but for me, it can't be a tunnel level the way Halo, unfortunately, has become.
Okay, let me interject here. I know where you're going.
Last point.
Okay,
No, you can interject. I would love a Perfect Dark theme world that feels more like a Far Cry.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
You have this open world map. You go to this base. You can approach it. Like Perfect World style, Perfect Dark, which is a little bit of stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to put yourself out there and just blow it up, then go for it. It would be cool to have that kind of a feeling from a Perfect Dark, rather than just the epic battle sequences of Halo, which I think Halo does well, and they should stick to that for the most part.
Okay. So, yeah. I want to interject and we'll let Josh jump in here. I like everything you said, especially the Far Cry stuff. However, that seems, when I first heard this rumor, my immediate reaction was, this is the single that Xbox needs, not the home run. They need to hit some singles, man. Like, they had Scalebound just completely, all that time, all that effort, marketing shown, everything just gone. Crackdown's delayed, State of Decay's, you know what they need? They need a game that's like, and it's out now, and it's out this fall. Like, here it is, bam, here's the game. Like, it needs to be, I'm thinking in my mind, 6 or 7 hour campaign, really cool multiplayer, maybe 2 or 3 battle, smaller game, right? But it's got the nostalgia tie, but it's something that Xbox says, exclusive to Xbox, Perfect Dark, the rare game you loved, we did it, we brought it out, and it's that perfect single. It's not going to set the world on fire. It's not going to be Anthem or Destiny or anything like that, but they don't need that right now. They need games to fill spots and fill gaps and to give people options, give people something worth, being excited about. And I just think if they could possibly, let's say this game has been in construction all year, if they could show it and it's out, fall 2018, it's a 3 year turnaround. I'm thinking more like Gears HD type of, impact. Like, it's not the world's, but it's a total exclusive that the hardcore fans would totally chew on for a month and move on to the next thing. But for a month, it gives them something to do, and they're not wondering where the game's at. I just kind of thought like a smaller thing would have a great appeal.
This is a minor point right now. I wouldn't want it to be a fall release, though.
Okay.
It's just a very saturated market, unfortunately.
Sure.
Like you mentioned Titanfall at some point today.
Oh, that was, yeah.
Yeah, for me, like Titanfall should be a March release where the game can like find its roots, you know? I feel like Perfect Dark, yeah, I'm obviously, like we said, like it's a great IP, but you want to be lukewarm with how it hits the hot water. You know, it's like I don't want it to go up against Call of Duty.
Sure.
Not because it's not going to be a better game. It'll probably be 10 times the game Call of Duty is. But just because I don't want it to be overshadowed by the overwhelming marketing of, you know,
sure. I feel you.
I
think in a perfect world, it'd be great if it was out, you know, at E3 or like it was like a surprise release. It could be out the next month. You know, June rolls around, Perfect Dark, August 1st. Like that would be, if it was just that surprise haymaker, that'd be incredible. Josh, we're talking about this rumor that the Coalition, the Gears studio, is working with another studio to bring back Perfect Dark, the Rare IP. Would you be down for that? I mean, Xbox has a lot of shooters in the stable.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of nailed Call of Duty thing on that. Like, the problem with Call of Duty in November is people go, I know I'm going to spend $60 in November on Call of Duty, so they don't want shooters then. Which is fine, but I mean, if you have Rare Replay like I do, Perfect Dark's not great, you know, and people aren't clamoring for it. So you're also right when you say like they need a single, not a home run. If they can put this game out, you know, early summer, or even just before the fall, and they market it right, if they can nail that 4-player couch co-op that we're lacking in shooters now, like if they can nail that GoldenEye original Perfect Dark aspect as well, I think people still want that. And if you want to play a shooter, couch co-op split screen, you got to go all the way back to Black Ops original to be able to play 4 players on the screen at the same time. Every Call of Duty since then, Black Ops or regular, you could only do 2 people per screen. So you'd have to link 2 Xboxes. Like, I've done it. You know, you have, like, we would get 2 Xboxes and 2 copies of the game and go down to GameStop and buy them.
Jeez. It's a lot of effort, man.
It's a bummer. And, like, we miss, like, Call of Duty or World War II. Like, when you could just play 4 people on a screen. Or Ghost Recon 3.
I say, and if they modernized the way Perfect Dark looks, right, but they kept that retro arcadey style, you could probably run 4 sessions in one TV screen without really reducing frame rate, especially like on X or S. Yeah.
So are you thinking like an Overwatch looking thing?
No. Like, do you remember the game No One Lives Forever? Had another female protagonist. It was very much like a 70s Perfect Dark. I think if we're looking at Perfect Dark staying Perfect Dark, meaning it stays a little retro, the graphics are a little, maybe even do it like Crackdown. So it's cell
shaded. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's kind of more like a comic, less like a realistic texture thing.
Right. So do cell shaded, so it takes less of your processing, and it makes it more accessible to people. Not everyone needs realistic graphics in their shooters, because I think with the Perfect Dark IP, you're taking a risk no matter what. You could make it a 2D game. It's still just as much of a risk as a hyper.
I'd be down for a 2D shooter. Perfect Dark. Like a side scroller. That sounds awesome.
This is based on nothing. Just because the Coalition is doing it, I think it's gonna be a dark cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
probably
gonna be
probably
like it's gonna be like Blade Runner. It's gonna be like Blade Runner 20 whatever, but you know, with some elements of Splinter Cell, because that game is obviously never gonna be made again.
But they could do like a Shadowrun game too. Like Shadowrun has needed like an update.
Yeah.
Since that awful Shadowrun multiplayer game that came out, or God forbid, Coach gets his wish and it's like Brink 2. Like, it could be a game like that as well.
I played like an hour of Brink 2, and it's one of the games I regretted so much buying. That game, the mechanics were so busted. I was irate at that game.
Was it Tony Hawk 5?
I've raged 100 times more at that game, longer than I've actually played the game.
Wow. moving on to 343 and Halo.
Damn it.
Q, you're a Halo expert, man. So, all right. So let me start this by saying, we all think Halo's at E3, right? Like, it's been a while. Like,
No, I don't think so.
you don't think so?
Man,
No.
I don't know.
Maybe
Okay.
Spartan Assault 2, but not a Halo.
Ooh. It's also isn't like the big anniversary for.
If I get another Spartan Assault, I'm gonna flip out.
So
just the thought of a Spartan Assault right now, I'm beginning to boil up inside.
so before I jump into this rumor deeper, like Q, do you think Halo's at E3?
Halo comes out next year.
You think so?
And E3 is gonna be fall release, early fall, September. It's gonna be like, because it's a non-Destiny year. Hopefully, we don't get any more of those games. Yeah, and I think this year we get a really good teaser.
Okay.
We get a good teaser trailer, maybe a story trailer.
Is it a direct sequel to the last one, or do they like go back or something?
So the thing about Halo is that it's Halo 6. We're not going in blind, because there's been novels and there's graphic novels.
Okay.
It's kind of like Star Wars, you didn't know what Last Jedi was going to be, but you had some hints of it because there's so much canon content being produced between major set pieces. So Halo is like, there's been graphic novels released. There's this one called Tales of Slip Space 2, which basically like sets up some like foreshadowing for Halo 6.
Okay.
Basically there's this kind of redemption of Cortana theme going on in the background that people are kind of like hooking onto if you go through the major Halo YouTube channels and stuff like that. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a teaser this year, and we're gonna get a release date and gameplay next E3, 2019 E3. So Halo runs on a 3-year rotation. So Halo 5 came out 2015, which means that this should be a Halo year. However, because of the rumors on Halo Waypoint, on their weekly news release that they do, that their community managers put together, they hinted at, like, no, there won't be a Halo 6 this year, but there's other adventures to do.
There we
go. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
There we go. So the rumor stated that massively multiplayer is coming to Halo. And the rumor, I think, exactly stated, I think it'd be awesome if he said, I'd love to play Halo with 100 people.
Ugh. Halo Battlegrounds.
It could be a battleground mode, like I talked about in our Discord chat. Like, the moment some real good company does battlegrounds, it's going to be the end of battlegrounds in my mind. Like, yeah. But I was thinking more like Battlefield, like this gigantic, like warlike environment with just Halo. Could, instead of dropping Halo 6, could they drop a huge update to Halo 5 and like rebrand, repush the game?
That's a massive game engine shift. So Halo has Halo Warzone. I don't know if you guys played that. It's a 24-player, with vehicles, and I think that's why, for me, it's a superior game to the other battle royales, because you have these massive machines moving in it outside of the players. You have AI dropping into the game. You have massive Covenant armies and Forerunner armies in the midst of 24 human players battling it out. I don't think Halo 5 is getting that update, though.
Okay.
I just don't see that happening. I think they're mostly done with Halo 5. If they do that update, I'd be really surprised. I don't see it. Plus, Halo 6 is supposed to have a split screen, and they promise that. Yeah. I just don't see a game engine being built for split screen, while at the same time being able to support a battle royale mode. I feel like that game engine is ready to start breaking down release day. This is my wish, man. My wish is ODST. Halo 5 has a sustainable formula for multiplayer. It's a really good multiplayer. Probably one of the best out there right now. Best multiplayers out there. Just deliver a solid noir campaign along the lines of ODST. I think that game... I don't know, that game, that's a story that I want to play. And I would love to, if Halo 6 requires one more year, then I'm okay with that, because Halo 5 gameplay was great, but writing needed more time.
Okay.
Yeah.
My only thing that I've been kind of penciling in Halo because I feel like it's Halo year, and boy, I feel like they need it. You know, like they if not Halo, then what? And I've got another what?
You say Xbox needs Halo, or
yeah, they need a game like that. You know, not Halo. I mean, I think Halo is their best brand for sure. They need something to really kind of turn the tide, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I agree with the idea they need a game like that. The problem is that the next Halo could be Mass Effect Andromeda.
That's true.
So
they got to make sure it's right. You're 100% right. I mean, they got to make sure it's right.
Kill the IP if it's not done right, and I think they became very aware of that with Halo 5. Halo Wars 2 was well received, but it's not a game changer.
Yeah,
it's a decent game. It's not a game changer. So yeah, Halo 6, I think, they looked at. I'm pretty sure 343 looked at Mass Effect Andromeda and they were like, "Holy crap!
Let's not do that.
That could be us. That could be us. Oh my god, a shooter sci-fi series just flushing down the toilet. Oh my god, no." So I think they're playing their cards close to their chest, and I think they're giving themselves the time that they need. Even if that means Xbox has to scramble for other IPs to fill in the landscape. So,
yeah. Josh, before we move on, you got anything Halo wise?
Yeah, let's be clear. There will never be another Mass Effect Andromeda. I think everyone learned a big lesson from what happened with that game.
I hope so, man.
Just development hell based on that Kotaku article. I mean, that's
just read about
a snowball of errors.
The development studio went through, what Casey Hudson did, and etc. For Halo, we're not going to see Halo 6 because Microsoft is learning from Crackdown. They're learning not to pump up something that isn't ready to even be shown. So I could see kind of like what Q hinted at, maybe at the end of the Xbox presser, you just hear Cortana's voice, and that's like the end of it. But when they say new adventures, I see a new Halo game that they showed at E3 that none of us could predict. Yeah, a spin-off, but it's not going to be an RTS. It's not going to be Halo Wars. It's going to be something different.
I'd be down for that.
But it'll be something easy for them to do. So I'm not expecting like Halo Wars quality, or even like remember Warcraft Adventures. Like, I'm not even expecting things like that. I'm just expecting like a Halo IP, or maybe even
a Halo mobile game that is card. It's a card game. You play cards.
Halo cards.
You
buy loot crates.
What if it was just Halo Battle Royale? Would that excite people, Q? Would the community get crazy if they just dropped a standalone Halo game that was just PUBG?
Sure, but as long as it's not Halo 6.
Some people would be excited. I would hate that.
Okay.
Because Halo's unique.
I haven't played Halo 5 yet. I'm about to, though. I've got it on the short list. I'm excited because those 4K updates are amazing.
Well, now
I agree with you, Josh.
Can play together.
I agree with you, Josh. Halo is unique, but I would take a Halo Royale mode in the same way that I take Halo Wars multiplayer. Like, for me, that's not Halo. Like, and I'm not offended by it because it's RTS. I'm like, well, I mean, it's Halo World, Halo themed. But you know, like, if you want to make a maybe, I don't know, if you want to make a silly, maybe even more cartoony looking, like Mr. Chief, not this cartoony, but you know, maybe downgrade the graphics, the realism a little bit, and make it a Royale mode, maybe more like Fortnite. I mean, we'll go for it. I mean,
yeah,
it will feed my Halo hunger.
It gets people doing something on that box.
It does, and it gives that brand something to brag about, right? Something to move merchandise, to move content. Yeah. I get scared. I get really my stomach like crunch. I don't know. It starts spinning when I talk about Halo because I just get really nervous.
All right, moving on.
Ah, jeez.
I'm so excited. This has got me so
excited. I know
excited.
you are. I know what this is.
So I started following these rumors back in November when it was discovered that Playgrounds was working on an open world RPG. They found that through LinkedIn and like job postings, and they hired some folks from GTA 5 and Hellblade and what was the other, Metal Gear, and Hellblade's one of my favorite games from last year, and GTA 5 is one of my favorite games ever. The game's amazing. And back then I was like, wait a minute, Microsoft's making an open world RPG? It couldn't be. Surely it couldn't be.
But
And then last week, several sites started to break the news that was more or less all but confirmed when Eurogamer. When Eurogamer says anything, everybody just takes it as one, like they're the best. So Eurogamer confirms that, ladies and gentlemen, new Fable is being planned, and it's a story and character-focused open-world RPG. A significant investment in its development is also being planned, with over 200 people set to work at Playground's newly established second office in Leamington Spa, Warwickshire. So, gentlemen, it looks like Fable's coming back. Now, you can't get too excited about this right now. Maybe we see like well, I'm excited. Maybe we see like a logo, right? Just to confirm at E3, like, hey, Fable's coming back. But like, the game won't be here this year. The studio legit just started up. Like, they haven't even hired everybody yet. So I want to temper expectations. I'm excited, just literally to hear that Fable isn't dead. Fable is my favorite Xbox franchise. I know it's the stepchild in the Xbox stable. It's not Gears. It's not Halo. It doesn't do those numbers. I don't care. Halo's my favorite Xbox game. It's what made me buy my Xbox. It made me buy my Xbox 360. It's really what got me in, and it's the one thing that I look forward to. I find this news a little bit surprising in the sense that they killed off Lionhead only to turn back around and spin up another studio. Like, it kind of feels like that Respawn type of shuffle, and it completely may not be. You know, I do think it's interesting that we were talking about this time last year, maybe a little longer than that, when Phil Spencer said, you know, the market is in, you know, games as a service and games with long tails and multiplayer games. And then according to Eurogamer, basically the success of Horizon Zero Dawn made them reshift and focus. And I'm not sure, maybe he made that decision, maybe somebody else in the company. I'm just excited to see that the single player game is not dead. And I'm hoping that somebody over there thought, man, we had something really special with Fable and we kind of screwed it up. Maybe we should fix it. I've got all the faith in the world in Playground. I mean, Josh, when you took off, we were talking about Forza Horizon. The next one's supposed to be set in Japan, and I waxed about 10 minutes about how excited I am.
Mount Fuji.
Yeah, I'm all excited about that. That studio has my they're one of those studios for me now. Like, they've got my faith until otherwise proven wrong. So I have no concerns with them. I do think that it will be different. It has to be, because it's not Lionhead anymore. Like, the charm, the wit, the writing probably isn't going to be the same. It doesn't mean it can't be good. I'm just excited to return to Albion and do Fable again. But I want to hear you guys talk. I don't want to sit here and just talk about it all by myself. So
I have a comment and a question regarding to keep up the baseball analogy, right? So let's say a perfect dark is a hit, right?
That's a single.
What was that?
That's a single.
Single.
It's a single.
I'm sorry.
That's a hit. Yeah,
yeah, my bad. Okay.
Crackdown's a single. State of Decay 2 is a double.
Okay, can and this is just for the entire industry. Can a single player open world RPG be a home run?
Absolutely. Zelda
For
Breath
sure.
of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn,
Okay,
not if you
Dragon
listen
Age
to-
Inquisition,
not if you listen
Skyrim.
to EA, it can't be.
corporations manage success based on how much money you're generating.
Sure.
How many
Those
copies
games
is
still sell
Horizon
well.
selling nowadays?
I don't know about Horizon, but it's sold
And how
a
many
lot.
copies is Odyssey gonna sell a year from now?
We can't live in a world where everyone plays Call of Duty. It's not. It's
But
not.
no,
acceptable.
good call. So not everyone plays Call of Duty, but everyone's playing PUBG, right? And,
Not acceptable.
And
Single player
Fortnite-
games need to live.
Fortnite. No, I'm not saying single player games should not.
Not
That's not
acceptable.
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in a world where Fortnite claims 50 million players concurrent, and Rainbow Six Siege claims 25 million players, and those are generating money for them, on a constant cycle. Can a single player open RPG, which do need to exist, and I'm not making that argument.
Horizon sold 4 million.
Can it be a home run? Or can it be at the most be a triple or a double? I'm going off the stupid baseball analogy.
No, I think Horizon Zero Dawn selling 4 million is a home run. 4
I mean,
million of a game is a home run. Like, typical you've got a success on your hand if your game hits 1 million. Most games don't hit
Sure.
1 million. You've got a really good game on your hand if it hits 500,000. In a lot of smaller games cases, if you hit 250,000, you're doing really, really well. Most indie games would love to sell 250,000 copies.
Right.
If you hit 1 million, that's a legit hit. That's like Stardew
Especially
Valley.
on
That's
exclusives,
a hit.
right? Especially console exclusive.
Exactly. If you go over 2 or 3 million, I mean, Zelda and Mario hitting 5 million levels. Now, it's not, GTA 5 is in a whole separate ballpark. That's the home run. That's the in the park cycle. Like, they won the game. But
Well, I mean, I would say those games are not your standard open world RPGs.
True.
Like, I mean, they're incorporating co-op and multiplayer,
all
and
kinds of
online.
different modes. Yeah, that's huge. That's why their games cost so much. But a game like Horizon Zero Dawn that sold 4 million, plus they made all the money that they made on DLC, plus that was the game's first launch in the series, and you got to think they're already planning out future installments of that game. They're looking at that game and the success of the first one, and they're thinking game number 2. Game number 3.
They already have Andromeda. They're Andromeda built. You know?
Yep. They're already starting to look down the road now.
Yeah.
So if Fable can do that, that's huge.
No, absolutely. I think I was never a believer that Fable was gone. Like, that was stupid. Like, the idea that Fable would never come back, I think that was like not realistic. Because that obviously, if you're
too much.
Yeah, the IP it's not a gold mine, but maybe it is. But it's stupid. It makes more sense to bring it back and retry something new than just push it away. I'm excited for this. I think Xbox needs that open world experience that is missing.
They need the core single player game. They don't have it.
The last big attempt at it was Sunset Overdrive, maybe Recore in a way, and those games just bombed. At least numbers wise, not
Sure.
maybe not game wise, but
Sure.
numbers wise, they just didn't sell.
Josh,
How about you, Josh?
I have so much to say. I haven't
let's
gotten
say
a
it,
word
man.
in
Let's
edgewise.
talk, because I got more to say too.
For every Fast and Furious, there's a Ladybird, to use a movie reference. So Ladybird's 100% Rotten Tomatoes. It is a fantastic movie, so I've heard. Haven't seen it. However, you can't live by the EA model where single player is dead. And that's what this game would be. Like, Fable is a name under, to itself. People know Fable. They know what they're getting. I think Lionhead is gone because of Fable 3. And I feel like they probably have been working on a Fable game for the past 2 years.
Well, we worked on Fable Legends,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like they've probably been working on a Fable.
like a core Fable.
Fable.
I got you.
And Microsoft's like, no, sorry. This is like, people, like, if you were into Fable 1 and 2, like you were, Donnie, like, Fable 3
I like
was
Fable
such
3
a,
too.
but it was such a disappointment and a departure from the series.
It
Like,
was.
I liked it
though.
too. But it, like, you couldn't even go into the start menu without having issues. Like, you couldn't manage your inventory. For a game like Fable 2 might be my favorite adventure game of all time.
a good
Like,
one.
it was so good. They hit everything, nail on the head. Everything worked flawlessly with the engine it was built on. Like, it couldn't do, it actually tried to like overcome some of the obstacles the engine they were building on. So you kind of ran into lots of PUBG glitches, if you will, in the game. If they could put that in game preview, they would have. I think we'll get a Fable from Playgrounds that's going to look and feel incredible, but I don't know when we're going to get that game.
Probably on the next Xbox, right?
Maybe. Like,
Yeah.
it should be an Xbox One X game, but I feel
I
like
still think it will be.
we were forced, we've all been forced into this not even happening next generation of consoles that maybe this E3, who knows, but 4 years is not a good lifespan for a next gen console, especially not a $500 console.
Sure.
So that's a whole nother conversation for
I want to rein it back in
whatever.
a little bit. I wrote some questions down. You guys already answered kind of, do you like or play Fable? Now I want to hear, what do you think the next Fable should be?
It needs to stick to that formula that we were just talking about. Like, why get away from Fable? It doesn't need to be this multiplayer experience. We need a Fable where I sit down and play my Fable, and it's different from your Fable, and it's different from Q's Fable, and we start a conversation about that. And Q's like, I didn't save that dude's inn, and Donnie's like, I married this lady, and now I'm king of some town or whatever it is. But like, it's Fable was always a game about choices.
Yep.
And if you've looked at games like Undertale, you can see what choice does. You have, you can become Cersei Lannister, or you can become Daenerys. You can become these people that are so polar opposite that no one has an experience like you have. That's what Fable is for me. You can be the guy who killed every chicken in the village, or you can be the guy who's like, I live in a village full of chickens. Like, that's the best part of Fable, is like the differences between everyone's playthrough.
I always took the infamous approach with Fable. It's very much like that light and dark, versus each other. Pick your own way to play. Yeah. You can play it through twice. So with Lionhead not being there, Fable will not be the Fable we know. I think they'll hold true to the core of the franchise. It'll be an open world role-playing game that's set, like some British humor. I don't think they'll like change what you think of Fable. It'll look and sound like Fable. I just think it's going to play completely different than any Fable game we've ever played before. I can imagine like more action heavy, like not okay. So when I say this, I don't mean this like one-to-one comparison, but I'm thinking like what Sony has shown us with God of War and how different that is from God of War that we've known, but yet it's God of War. I think when we finally see Fable from Playground, that's kind of what we're going to think about. Like, it's going to be like, oh, that looks and sounds like Fable, but they're obviously, that doesn't play like the Fable game I used to play. I think it's going to be like they've got to put their own take on it. They can't be Lionhead. Like, I mean, I firmly believe that, right? It's like a musician writing music. You can try to copy it as much as you want. You still can't do it the way somebody else would have done it. And Fable has been Lionhead's game for so long. And it's been a long time since we had Fable, too.
Lucas says, think of Kingdoms of Amalur. And
that'd be good,
I kind of see that.
Yeah, and I mean, so the art style and all that, I'm not really concerned about. I honestly, I'm so excited to hear that Fable's not dead that I at this point I'll take anything. But I am also kind of looking forward to like what would a studio do like with maybe better combat, or maybe like a deeper like skill trees or RPG like stuff, like maybe the storytelling, maybe like there's a stronger narrative. You mentioned Fable 3. My only real issue with Fable 3 is the narrative was kind of like toss away from the fun of playing the game. Maybe it's a richer story game, and maybe it's not so like expansive, make your own fun type thing. I don't know.
But you got to worry about becoming, you don't want to become Fallout or these other games that are similarly themed. You don't want to, like Fable is Fable because it's unique. So you don't want to become, right. And that is scary, but you don't want to become like these other games because it can drive people away. Now, I know that Lionhead's not there, but that doesn't mean the people that worked for Lionhead aren't there.
Well, in the Eurogamer article, they had a lot of the ex-Lionhead folks that, basically chimed in, and they were like, yeah, we were excited to work on Fable, and then they fired us all, and now they've hired these people to make Fable, and it's not us. So it didn't sound like that. Now, you're right. They may hire them. I mean, I think in my regard, I think the writing will be the hardest part to nail. Because the Fable's writing is the most unique part about it. Like the jokes, the interactions, the dog, the mannerisms, the humor. You're right. Like that's the part that they'll have the hardest time getting over. If they can get that over, then they'll be home.
I have a question. I feel like it can happen.
I have a question and a comment about Fable. So we're talking about what does the next Fable need to be, and it's because for me you can approach that question from two different angles. One angle is what does Xbox need the next Fable to be?
That's true.
And the other question is, what does Fable need the next Fable to be? Because one question focuses on, well, how do we remain loyal to the fans that love Fable 1 and 2 and, maybe 3? Because in the first question addresses what game is missing from the Xbox lineup that Fable has an opportunity to fill in for. Because those are two different games, and well, maybe they could be the same game.
I was gonna say, I would
It's
support.
not. We shouldn't assume they're the same game based on the question that the angle that we approach it from.
I'd like to support your first question and just provide a little background. I believe my memory serves me right. Fable never existed in a world after Skyrim, The Witcher, Fallout 4, Horizon. Fable can't be Fable anymore. So like it can't appease the Fable fans, because since the last time we all sat down and played a Fable on day one, the genre has run and skipped so far. And that, you know what? Maybe that's why Microsoft said we need to give this to somebody else. You know, maybe we need to modernize it. We need a different take. I really hope it's a reboot. But like I would be really upset if they designed a game around appealing to people that liked Fable 2. It can't be Fable 2. Because if it's Fable 2, people aren't going to like it, because that style of game has come so long since the last time we had Fable 3.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the writing, which you said is going to be the hardest part. Because at the end of the day, like, I mean, whatever game they choose to make, the story is what people are gonna remember. Like, I mean, that's what it's for. About, so
you have narrative-driven games, yeah.
I really hope it's like the greatest game I played this past year was Mass Effect Andromeda. You know, it's just it carved out a place in my heart. And
hold on, I got a sticker for this.
Nice.
I'm sorry. I feel like Mass Effect Andromeda is my go-to punchline of the episode.
It's going to be the punchline for a century.
I will say this. I'll finish my comments on Fable with this. That Mass Effect is leaving a hole in space open for investment, conversation RPG games, right? Like people love the fact that you mentioned the good versus evil compass, you know, kind of along the lines of Mass Effect, Knights of the Old Republic. I don't think there's a game out there that does that well right now. I think, in fact, because Telltale kind of took over that element of games, you know, the idea of making an adventure, choose good versus evil or in between. And I feel like there's not a lot of games right now that do that well or are trying to do it at all. If Fable can incorporate that element into their storytelling somehow and their mechanics, I would love to check out that game. I think that would be
Fable's whole thing, like when I played, is that I love that the entire world would alter around you based on your decisions. Whereas like in Telltale, basically the game kind of ends the same way every time. You know?
Fable is Telltale without the glitches.
And Infamous did that too, but with like Second Son, it was basically just like a skill tree. You know, like you could have like the evil powers, the good powers, and maybe like comments from it didn't change the world. Like in Albion, literally, if you were a bad dude, like clouds descended over the city. Like it became a darker place to live in. Yeah, like that was really cool. You could almost, I played it twice. You could play it twice because you want to see what it looked like the other way.
So what if we took Dragon Age Inquisition's storyline?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
And incorporated the Nemesis system from Shadows of Mordor.
Yeah.
And we made a Fable out of that.
I think whatever this Fable game will have to be something on that like combat mechanic level. I would literally, when I've heard the news from Eurogamer confirming it, I was like, Dragon Age Inquisition Fable. Yes. That's like almost stylistically the way it's going to play, what you're going to do, like kind of, like that's kind of where I went.
I really like Inquisition. That game, I played 60 hours of that over Christmas break. Not this past, you know, over a Christmas break a few years ago. I really enjoyed that game.
If that's the heights that they're shooting for, dude, that game's totally on the next Xbox. That's a 4-year game, at least.
Sure. It's true.
So, I mean, I wrote down my last comment. We're over time, but I wrote down my last comment. There was some rumors that, you know, we were having new consoles in 2019. And I have someone who just bought an X. Like,
it's too soon, man. No,
I agree. Mm-hmm. I would imagine that like new consoles couldn't come out possibly at least still 3 years from now, at least on the Microsoft side. I could see Sony coming out with another upgrade. I'm wondering if like new consoles just mean like we just keep getting upgrades. Like, is that where we are now? Like, 'cause like we're talking about Fable. Like maybe Fable launches in 2019 and maybe it runs on X1X and Xbox Two, but not X1S. Like maybe they start coming out with like charts and stuff.
I hate that though. I hate that they make. So tax season is now. I'm getting an X. There's a Project Scorpio there's a Project Scorpio edition Xbox One X at the Target down the street from my house. It's still sitting there. I'm looking at it. So taxes come back. I'm getting a 4K TV, smaller but better, and an Xbox One X.
America.
And that's what I need. Like, I need my 4K movies.
It's so
I
good.
want my 4K games, but if Xbox comes out and they say we have a new Xbox coming out next year, I'm sorry. I'm finally at the point in my life where I can't have fear of missing out. I'm going to get an X. There's no way my Xbox One X isn't going to be able to run the games they're going to announce. If they go, oh, well, Xbox blank or PS blank isn't going to run your old games, then I'm done. I got board games. They last forever. Like, I'll just keep playing my board games because I'm not in the PC game for a reason. Like, I can't afford to upgrade my console every year or my PC every year. So that's why I have an Xbox. I just bought an S. Now I got to buy an X, and then I got to buy a XS.
Triple X.
Like it's not fair to the consumer because we have this issue.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I just thought of Phil Spencer. Like I thought of like some Phil Spencer like standing in front of three X's, and for some odd reason I thought of like the Family Feud. You know, like when you get the X's.
Yes.
He's just like Steve Harvey's like, show me.
Yes.
Cute.
Oh my god.
New consoles, man. What do you think? Do you think this generation just like keeps going, or do you think we get a new generation?
Two thoughts. First thought is technology is improving faster than the old console cycle that we're used to. Give it another year, the Xbox One X could have been the new console, right?
Yeah.
Like not just like a premium device, but like a new console. This idea that consoles have to last 7 years, I don't know, man. I'm always looking out for the consumer. I don't want to buy a console every 3 years, but do I want games to hit a cap for 7 years and not be able to go past that cap just because? I don't know. Last time I checked the GameStop's still selling 360s, right?
Yep, I bought some.
just because a new console's coming out doesn't mean the Xbox One market is done, right? Like, I mean, you could still keep releasing games for a few more years on the one and the new console. I don't know. I'm kind of torn because I'm all for advancing technology and I'm all for advancing the industry forward. I don't think there should be like a benchmark. You can't release a new console until we hit this threshold. But I also, I don't know. There's something dark about, I don't know. There's something disturbing, or I don't know. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. About just, I don't know, having to buy a brand new system every 3 years, every 4 years.
Sure.
At the same time, if a new Xbox is announced next E3, like not 2018 but 2019,
right,
and it's amazing, and it's the new sliced bread, then I'm not gonna be angry about it, right? Like I mean, if we can crush PlayStation and punch them in the face and knee them in the back, then I'm all for it. I mean, yeah. But I just bought a Switch, and that's awesome. So
and that's so far, yeah. My 2 cents on the console wars is I do think 2019. I think Sony has a console. My big question is I wonder if it is as good. I don't think they would release a console as good as the X, but I'm wondering like how much more X it can be over the X. like
Yeah.
for a relative price range. Like, and because so here's the thing, I agree with you guys in the world of backwards compatibility, especially because both of these consoles are an x86 and that doesn't appear to be going anywhere anytime soon. I can imagine that it's like all worth their while to kickstart a new gen that's not backwards compatible. If it's backwards compatible, then I could see them supporting multiple devices, for 10 years, not just 5 years, like for a long time. The only thing that I think is interesting, especially in the PlayStation case, is the 4K. The 4K is the new HD, and it took a while to get going, but now it's officially going, and everybody's buying HD TVs, or I mean 4K TVs. Like, they're everywhere. $300, you get 4K TV. So eventually, I think Sony will have to have a true 4K. But once that happens, right? So let's say 2019, there's the PlayStation Extra Plus Pro, whatever they call it. It is 4K. It's got 7 teraflops versus the 6.4. That doesn't warrant Microsoft creating a new console. They can totally just be the X at that point and just continue to be the X. And they're like, yeah, that one's got, another teraflop. But, I mean, at this point, do we need another teraflop to make beautiful games? Like, the reason I've been chained to my Xbox for the past 6 weeks is these games are gorgeous. I mean, they are so pretty. Like, Assassin's Creed is, like, I can't imagine, like, a prettier, like, do we need more than that? Like, I think that's good enough. Like, we're good. Just more games.
What I want from the new console is, this is all I want. I want to be able to shout at it and be like, "Hey, Xbox, what's the weather outside?" And be like, "The weather outside is 40
Cortana
degrees."
built in.
Yeah, that's all I want. You know, I'll give you $600 for that.
Q.
I'm just kidding.
You're having an amazing day.
Wally, that was an amazing achievement you just unlocked. Thanks, Cortana. High five.
You totally double jump shot that dude.
I'll say this: if there is a new console announced next year by Microsoft, and when I don't think anyone here has said that, but if there is one, I think that would counter the language that we heard from Phil Spencer.
Yeah, I'm not expecting that at all. There's no way Xbox unveils any hardware before PlayStation. I think those days are over. I think they learned their lesson. They're not doing that anymore.
Any console announced in the next 700 days is a console that has been in development now for the last couple of years. And that would be like, you release the One X knowing this was in store, or this was around the corner, and that would destroy all the favor they've built up over the last year.
And I know tech is constantly advancing, but like for the longest time, there was like a year there on the original Xbox and PlayStation where people were like, we're doing the best we can with this offering. Like I don't see that time coming for the X for a while. I don't think anybody's like, man, if I just had 2 more teraflops. It's just like, you have everything you need to make a good game now. How about we just make some games for a while?
I want to be able to play with like 2 headsets at the same time,
Josh, anything else, man?
I would just say,
for the love of the box show.
And for the love of the box, there's one thing that Microsoft has nailed that people don't talk about all the time, and they talked about it 3 years ago at E3. They wanted to be the one box for everything. So you could plug your cable box into it.
Don Metric.
You could do all these things. We just, in my household, we just signed up for DirecTV Now, and we got the Apple 4K TV for free, which was the big reason to do it. It works great and all. That app interface is unusable compared to my Xbox. My Xbox is on now. I use it for everything: HBO Go, Showtime Anytime, YouTube, Hulu, Netflix, gaming, DirecTV Now. I use it for everything, and that's the one thing that Sony has yet to approach. Sony put out a PS4 Pro that doesn't play 4K Blu-rays. I know we talked about it at E3.
As I say, that's a long-standing joke. I want to interact here because I've got both and I subscribe to both. All those apps and then some are also on PlayStation.
But they're not. The user interface is terrible on the PlayStation 4 for those apps.
Times. For having both, I think they're fine. I think they're
so
equal.
Maybe that's for me, I guess. Maybe then specific because I've used them. But for me, it's so easy. I have my media remote. For my Xbox, I don't even need my controller. Boom, everything is accessible. Turns my TV on and off. Does all these things for me. The Xbox, maybe PlayStation does it now, but the Xbox One was first to do it all-in-one cable box. You can plug in a PS4 into your Xbox and play it through your Xbox.
It bakes a pizza for you.
I don't mean to demean your point. Your point is well received. I do like the multimedia stuff. But did either of you listen to the IGN Australian podcast? The podcast?
No, you said IGN, so I stopped listening.
Oh, okay, so you did Lobo?
I forgot her name. The lady that hosted.
Did you ever listen to any of their Don Matrix skits that they were running there for a while? That first year Xbox, those were the best podcast audio I've ever heard. Josh, they used to start every episode with like this 10-minute skit where this guy would do his Don Matrix voice, and they would just have him doing this ridiculously stupid, like, you know, he'd be like, "Hey guys, we're gonna make this Xbox go out," and they're like, "Why are you doing this, Don Matrix? It's gonna be the way of the future." It was just, they were the best. I can't ever hear the one box or the multimedia like without ever thinking of that. That was incredible. Don Magic.
That's always been my go-to device. Like, it's just me though. That's just me. Like, I can't speak for everybody.
One of my we're at final comments, right, Donnie?
Yeah, we're about to roll.
One of my things that I want to highlight is as the Xbox and the other consoles advance and get better, and maybe they're making new consoles. A big part of this is internet connectivity, like the capacity to hit high levels of connection and bandwidth, and just, you know, and throughout most of America, that is garbage. Like, right, like compared to other countries, and compared to just the average American has crappy internet, and that's not compared to, like, you know, someone that lives in the middle of a war-torn Syria, right? That's I'm talking to the modern world, and for me, like the gaming is capped at the point where your internet craps out, and I'm still seeing a lot of crapping out. I have a really good internet. When I'm playing, I get really good latency.
I get the same, yeah.
And it still craps out. So it's like, well, what's the point of having an amazing console if the infrastructure that supports that technology around the country is not that great, right? So for me, it's like, yeah, I mean, we can talk about games all day and the next Xbox, and I'm excited for 2018 Xbox. But in general, like, I think there's other things that can hurt gaming moving forward, and such as, like, you know, regulations for net neutrality and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to make a political issue out of this podcast. I'm just saying, like, there's other things that can hurt gaming in general. And so as much as technology moves forward and we get great games, my Rainbow Six Siege can only get as good as, you know, I don't get dropped from the freaking game.
Or the people you're playing with don't get dropped. Exactly.
And that's just a wider conversation about access to high-speed internet and high-quality connectivities. So
sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There you have it. That's almost 90 minutes. Kevin's going to kill us. Of pure Xbox love. It's been a while. Xbox didn't get the love it deserves. I wanted to make sure it did. You can find me on Twitter at PlayNintendo. You can find Josh over there on Twitter at JoshBones. Follow Q and all of his Halo ramblings over there at Unrated Podcast. We look forward to playing Xbox this year with you. There's a lot of games coming out. I cannot wait to play The Artful Escape. That game is going to be amazing. So anyway, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us tonight. And remember, as always, never stop gaming.